Here comes everybody. My name is Judge Person. I welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. If you'll please stay muted, that will actually improve things, because if we all talk at once, the technology tends to cancel out. I'm going to repeat myself just a little bit because not everyone is connected. If you're connecting now, don't worry. I'm starting to repeat myself. My name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. We do thank you for your time. I want to give some basic information, but I also need to do a few housekeeping matters before we get started. Person labeled user, could you please unmute and tell me who you are? I've asked you to unmute Zoom user. Gentlemen, perhaps, I don't know, kind of blonde tips on the hair, braids. Can you unmute? Yes, hi.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your name?
Keandre Smith.
Last name again?
Smith.
Smith. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to keep you muted, but I'm noting that you're here, and I'm going to change the name on the screen just so that I don't lose track of you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then a person who currently is connecting to audio, so I have to wait. Let's see. And then we have a phone caller on a phone number. Yes, hi. Could you tell me your name?
Hi, Christy Wheeler Ramsey.
Thank you, Ms. Wheeler Ramsey. I'm going to keep you on mute in a moment here, but I'm going to change the name on my screen. What you're not able to see is that we have a number of people in the meeting, and everyone will have an opportunity to have their case addressed. You're on the pretrial docket today. And what that means is that if you have a conversation today, first it would be with the city's prosecutor. Her name is Amanda Rice, and she's on the screen, but you're not seeing the screen. Ms. Rice is waving though to everyone who's on that pretrial docket. And I will be with you shortly. And when I call your name, just make sure that you answer so that I can kind of instruct you what to do. Being on the phone, there's just a slightly different procedure we'll follow to try to make sure that your needs are addressed today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And okay, I'm still having connection on that. So I do want to just give some basic information. When you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And a plea is an answer or a response to that accusation. That's what a plea is. If you give a plea, you're giving your answer. And there are three options for pleading. They are guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Guilty means you're saying, I did this. Excuse me. Not guilty means that you are contesting the charge. Ultimately, that means you're asking to be set for and move toward a trial. And no contest means you're allowing me to find you guilty without saying whether you did or did not do the thing that you're accused of. You can move forward with sentencing today on a plea of guilty or a plea of no contest. If you plead not guilty, that's your right to do that. That case is moving toward trial. So we have a pretrial on Zoom, and then we have a live pretrial, then we have trial, okay? And it's a multi-step process because, well, in part, using taxpayer money, I'm moving forward deliberately and making sure that we are addressing everything efficiently the way that we're supposed to. That's the short answer. I can talk with you more about that when it's your turn if we need to do that. But I'm going to just give you just the guidelines of kind of how things move through a court. So once a ticket is written or a complaint is filed, you have a court date on that ticket. If you have a complaint filed instead, you get a letter in the mail to come to court. You can give a plea at that point. You're appearing at that point, and we're moving forward in the direction that your answer to that charge is taking us. So ultimately, it's your case. Even though I'm the judge of the court, it's still your case. And I do want to just give you some basic information about how things move. So when you are pleading guilty or no contest, you're authorizing the case to move forward. I'm still seeing a few people having trouble connecting to audio. So I want to check real quick. Only a few people are on the screen right now. You're really supposed to be on the screen. If you could connect to your screen, please, everyone. Thank you. Are you able to hear me? I guess so, if you connected to the screen.
I can hear you.
Thank you. I have Desiree Thomas connected to the screen, but
I'm unable to get the video to cooperate.
Okay, that'll be fine. And then I think still Quentin Flowers is having trouble, and what appears to be classes having trouble connecting. Let's see. Let me see if I can get her audio. It's not connected. And then Mr. Flowers, let's see if he's gotten connected. Still struggling too. Maybe he's connected now. Look, it's always good if, oh, there we go. Mr. Flowers, welcome to the meeting. Can you hear me? You can hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you. I just, your audio wasn't connecting and I was just kind of getting concerned. Okay, we're good there. Thank you. I do have you checked in. And so I do just want to let you know a few things. So again, if you've pled guilty or no contest, we're moving forward towards sentencing. And that normally means paying your fines and costs and having it go on your record. And, you know, that's the end of it. Now there's exceptions to having it go on your record, and payments are, you know, I drive that individually based on the income information that's been provided. And so if you plead guilty or no contest, I'm looking at that information. I'm working with you on that. And I'm taking into consideration individual circumstances. Everyone's situation is a little bit different. So as far as payments, there's an automatic 30 days if you need it. If you need a longer term payment plan, we can work on that. And those are both based on income and what you report to me. Okay, so I'm going to need to hear from you at that point. Now, as far as having something go on your record, there are 4 ways to gain a dismissal in a court like this one, which is a municipal court, directly from the judge. You can have a dismissal for compliance. I'll talk about that in a minute. A driver safety course option, deferred disposition, and teen court. So on the compliance, things that can be brought up to date and dismissed are what we're talking about there. If you can bring something up to date, I can dismiss it under certain circumstances. And when you have a case like that, I'm going to automatically start talking to you about how to get that dismissal. All of those require that you be on time. So if you got a warrant letter or a warrant itself, we missed that one. Okay. But if you're on time, I'm starting to look to see, hey, can I get this person to a dismissal? Okay. The second option, and you can ask me questions, but I'm not going to wait for you to ask. I'm going to move, trying to get you to the dismissal. If I can get you there, I will. Second option is a driver safety course option. That's for moving violations as long as you don't own a CDL, have a CDL, commercial license, and you are a Texas license holder. You've got to be Texas for that program. In that program, you pay court costs. Your fine gets waived if you complete it. Let me tell you what I just said, what that means. Every ticket has a court cost and a fine. I'm always giving you the whole number. When I give you a number, it's both things together. But the legislature sets the court costs. That's a piece of it. The judge, that would be me, sets the fine. Okay. So the court cost and the fine is your ticket. But in the driving safety course option, what our legislature provides is that you pay the court cost, the fine goes on hold. And if you turn in your driving record, it's got to be the right record, and your driving course, it has to be the right course. Your ticket is dismissed off your record, no conviction entered, and the fine gets waived. So you save money. Yes, you pay the court costs. Yes, you pay for the record and the class. However, the class, the record, and the court costs together are less expensive than the whole ticket. Okay? It's a way to keep your record clear. It's a way to not get any kind of consequences with insurance because you're not being convicted. Okay? And a conviction is usually what triggers those consequences. It's a different thing for CDL holders, but for just a regular driver. And the reason why it's cheaper to do that than just to pay the ticket and have it go on your record is really trying to incentivize doing that class. Because we do know from just lots of studies, there have been many, many studies, and what we know empirically is that once you take that course, you drive a little bit better and it lowers the chance of accident. And if you're 25 or under, you're in the highest group of death and dismemberment on Texas roadways. And the way to address that really is one driver at a time. And so we have that program, and it does save you money. I think they're trying to incentivize taking the class because otherwise we might not really feel that motivated to do it. So that's that program. And I'll talk to you about that if it looks like you're eligible. I'll start trying to see if you are. One Nation Plus, or One Plus In, sorry. You finally got your audio connected. I've just asked you to unmute and tell me your name, please.
Christy Wheeler Ramsey.
Oh, there you are. Okay, you were on the phone and now you're visual. Great.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never done this before.
A lot of people haven't, and so we're just going to stay very patient and not worry about that. But I'm really glad that you were able to work it all out. Good job.
Thank you.
Miss Amanda Rice, she's labeled Amanda, is on the screen, and she's going to be the prosecutor in the case. And you have a meeting scheduled with her today. So I've got you logged in, and we'll address you soon, okay? Otherwise, we're all kind of listening. Frankly, you'll learn if you were in court, you would listen to court happening, and you tend to learn a lot about your own situation, what options are available, what you might consider, and so forth. But so we're compliance dismissal option for certain types of things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. Driving safety course is a second option. The third option is called a deferred disposition. Deferred means delay. Disposition means to make final. You delay making the case final, I do, and put you into a contract that looks like a piece of paper, because that's what it is. And you sign it, I sign it, you agree to certain things, mainly to try to remain ticket free, warrant free, tell us if you move. Sometimes there's a class, sometimes there's a record. I have to sort out payment of fines and costs in the deferred option. And we'll need to make an agreement about what's going to happen there. We put it in writing. If you meet the requirements of that written document, then you know you are guaranteed a dismissal. They usually last about 4 months, about 120 days. They can last up to 180 days. Here's the trick, okay? I'm going to give you the secret handshake. So the trick on a deferred disposition in a Class C court in Texas is that you can ask the judge directly, or you can also ask the prosecutor if you're in a pretrial, okay? And what that would look like is, guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred. That's the secret handshake. I'd like a deferred. It's that simple, okay? But if you've ever watched a proceeding in a higher level court in Texas, you must go through the prosecutor for that deferred. And 98% of the cases here, you don't have to go through the prosecutor. You could, but I get lawyers who don't even know this. They demand, they want a deferred and they ask to talk to the prosecutor about it. They can, but they can also just ask the judge. So it's either or. You can ask the judge, you can ask the prosecutor, who will ask me too with you. But if you want to do a deferred, that keeps it off your record, and we'll just sort through it. If you'll listen while I work with people, I'll probably do one here shortly, and you can kind of see how that works. Okay, that's number 3. I said there were 4. The fourth one is called teen court. Teen court is for students who are in an accredited school program. And if you are eligible, I should have that paperwork by now. But if you're eligible and I'm not doing teen court with you, you might ask me about it, but I should be catching those. And I'll walk you through the teen court process. It's an alternative method to gain a dismissal from the 3 that I just spoke about, but it works similarly to a deferred in that we put an agreement in place. You must follow the agreement. You have to honor your promises, basically. And if you get it done, you get your case dismissed. You save a lot of money because you're in school. You're probably not working. And if you're working, it's not full time because you're in school. And so we work with you on a different way to go about basically the same kind of thing. Okay. So those are the 4 options for dismissal. There's a 5th one occasionally, but it's not frequent. The prosecutor recommends a dismissal. I'm not going to guarantee that. It's not typical, but it is a way that tickets are sometimes dismissed in a court like this one. Okay, so that's, everything we know. So we're going to move forward in that direction. Well, you may not know everything that lawyers know, but you know a lot. And the basics about how things move through the court. And really importantly, the 4 options for getting a ticket dismissed, okay? And most people, they represent themselves in a court like this one. And so we're just going to try to listen and work with you. Everyone will have a chance when it's their turn to unmute and talk to me as needed, okay? So I have a breakout room that happens for folks who are on the contested docket. And what happens there is that you receive an invitation to come to the breakout room, and you're talking to Miss Amanda Rice. You're talking to Miss Rice at that point about your case, but you don't have to give her details or facts. She's the prosecutor. You might choose not to, but she is there to work with you the best that she can. And she's also there to look at her case and make sure she's moving forward with it. The first person that logged in for that docket is Ronald Huff. Mr. Huff, you're going to receive an invitation. When you're done meeting with Ms. Rice, click back over to this meeting because I need to talk to you too. And then I'm working with my first person, Serenity Priestley. Ms. Priestley, if you could unmute, and I'm going to pull your file while you're unmuting. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. And let's see. This is a failing to yield the right of way, turning left at an intersection. You have entered a plea to that charge, and I'm just verifying, of guilty. And the fines and costs are $269, and you've requested teen court. Do I have it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to accept your plea. With teen court, there's a $20 fee. Can you pay that fee today? It's got to be cash.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, was there an accident? Yeah, I think there was.
Yes, ma'am.
And did insurance cover that accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There's a class I'm going to have you take and a short essay. The essay 2 pages. And the class is a driving safety class. And those both are going to be due in 30 days. And you can take a class around town or you can take a class online. It's very similar, or it's the same as a driving safety course. Since you're a license holder, we just do that course. But instead of paying full court costs, which are $144, you're paying $20 because you're a teen, okay?
Okay.
All right. Can you do all of that, you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do is say, you're going to come pay that fee, $20 today at the clerk's desk. You're going to do your paperwork. It's going to take you about 10 minutes. Then you're good to go. And you'll leave with your documents of what you need to do. Okay. When can we look for you to come here? We have to have a parent. Your parent, I think, is in the, I think your parent is right next to you.
Yes, she's right there.
What time shall we look for you both?
I have a question.
Yes.
Does she need to have a verification of enrollment form for this for school?
She already,
or no?
she already provided that.
Okay. We can come as soon as we're done with this.
Okay. I'll just put this morning. And we will see you at the front desk. They'll have your paperwork there shortly. And just proceed to the front desk. We ask that you mask, preferably right now. There's been a lot of COVID. And no reason to catch it if you don't have to. We've had some folks out. So come on up to the front desk. We'll have everything there. Just give that essay. And they'll have it for you at the front. Any further questions?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving forward. Dominique Thomas. If you could unmute while I get your file pulled up. How are you this morning, Mr. Thomas? And Ms. Thomas?
We're all right.
Hi.
Good morning.
Let's see.
I'm Desiree
Okay.
Bailey here with Dominic Thomas.
Yes. Hi, how are you this morning?
Wonderful, thank you.
So I looked at your file earlier, Mr. Thomas, and I don't have a problem with teen court. We called and we verified that you were insured. However, we need your document. Can you bring your current insurance paper to us?
Yes, we did bring that when we signed.
No, ma'am, you brought an expired one. Yeah, so we called and they said, yeah, he was covered at the time of the stop. So we need that. We just need that card.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. It's
We'll
just,
get you a current one.
yeah, it just happens. It's not a big deal, but
Didn't realize the date.
so I'm just going to make a note that you're bringing that this morning. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And also then Dominique, I read through your paperwork and you have pleaded no contest to the speeding charge. And you've asked for teen court. With teen court, there's a $20 fee. Can you pay that in cash today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then there's a class due by the 10th of February. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay, and then when are we looking for the both of you to come in this morning? What time roughly?
By 10 a.m.
Okay, that'll work well. And we'll have your paperwork by then at the front desk, okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay, and Dominique, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Are we able to pay by debit card?
And I don't think so. I think you have to bring cash.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that.
Yes. Okay, any other questions?
Yes, the class that he has to take, what is that?
Right, it's a driving safety course. We'll have information in the packet. You can take it online or you can take it around town. When you're finished, it needs to be no later than February 10th that you turn in the certificate of completion to the clerk's desk where you're going to get your paperwork.
Yes, ma'am, you will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dominique.
Thank you.
Okay, and so I'm moving forward. And my next person is actually Brian Evans. Mr. Evans, if you could unmute. How are you this morning? So you're frozen on the screen, which tells me some technical.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. How are you this morning?
Oh, real good, ma'am. How about you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Listen, I got your note about not being able to do the course. That was part of the deferred, but it was, I'm finding that was due to financial circumstances. Because I did review everything that you gave me. It sounds like with your job, just a quick question. Are you still working there?
Yes. There's a company that's liquidating Central Texas granite and tile. And I don't have internet at the house anymore. I attempted to take it on my phone, but I guess it's not compatible with my hours. I was putting it off, and before I knew it, it was that time. So I was wondering if I could just pay the cost of the class and just get the case over with. It's kind of what I was looking at today, if it was possible.
Okay, let me just look again. Pearl, are you able to hear me? You're cutting in and out, but I think I got the gist of what was going on.
Yes, I could hear you perfectly, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't need to collect the cost of the class. You've paid your bond. The question is whether I extend and give you more time to get the class done. It sounds to me like you're not going to be able to get it done.
No, ma'am.
And I'm showing that your current income situation, at least, is such that you wouldn't be able to even afford that class now. Is that correct?
Oh, okay.
Have you paid for the class already?
I haven't paid for trying to use my phone and it would let me go to the main hub to even do it.
Right, okay. I'm going to waive the class and keep you on a deferred. And in this case, I've reviewed all the information you gave me, and I'm making a determination that you can't do the class. And your deferred actually is heading to a dismissal at this time. So you're good to go, Mr. Evans, and I appreciate you tending to it and staying on target.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
We'll email the dismissal to the email that we used to set up this meeting, okay?
Oh, I appreciate that, ma'am.
Okay. Email.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You're good to go.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye. And I'm moving forward and wanting to talk to Keandre, hope I said that right, Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Smith?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. Did I say your first name correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So I did review, and you're a student at TISD. And you have entered a plea of no contest to possession of tobacco by a minor. The fines and costs, if you pay that ticket, are $181. In the normal context, and I'm not talking about teen court yet, in the normal context, if you're a minor and you have a tobacco charge, you're usually required to pay the ticket, which is $181, and take a tobacco awareness class. And the legislature is so behind that class that what they've said is if you don't take it, I'm required to suspend your license for 6 months. And so what I normally do at this point, since I have to get that class, even if we did a deferred, is that I would say, are you interested in teen court? And if so, can we pay the $20 fee today? And it's okay if you can't, you need to tell me though. And then I would still require the class, a tobacco class, which you take online. And if you do that and get it turned in on time, I would dismiss the charge. How does that sound to you?
Yes, ma'am. I can do that. Like, this is my first time ever doing like anything like this. So like, I'll do like whatever I need to do to get it dismissed.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's great. I like your attitude. We are going to do what we can do though, and I don't want to set you up to do things you can't. So my first question is: you're 17. You don't have to have a parent with you. Is there a parent with you?
No, ma'am. I'm at school right now.
Okay. Can you pay? Do you know if you can pay the $20 fee today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the class would be due February 10th. And it's an online class, and I would give you information about how to find that class and do it online on your computer. Do you think you can get it done and turned in by February 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the next question I have is, when will you be able to come up to the court today? Like after school, can you come?
Yes, ma'am. Where is it located? Is it the same place I got everything else from?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
exactly right. What time should we look for you?
I can be there before 12.
Okay. So I will have everything at the front desk for you, and just come in, give them your name and ID, and tell them you're here for your teen court paperwork, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And the $20 fee, we do cash on that one, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Your course information will be in your packet, and you'll just follow that, okay?
One question, ma'am. How much will the class be?
So I think they run about $50.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that going to be possible?
Yes, I have to make it possible. So yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you wind up unable to get it done on time, come in and talk to the clerk. I might be able to give you more time. Or we can meet again like this and talk about any issues. Don't just walk away and get scared about it, okay? Because if
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can't, if you make a promise and you can't keep it, it's human nature to want to run away and hope it gets better on its own. But the better thing with a court is to come on in and just try to have a face-to-face conversation, a Zoom to Zoom conversation. Let's talk about it, see if we can resolve it. So if you run into a problem, come by and write me a note, let me know, and I'll communicate with you about it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Smith,
Mhm.
and we'll see you around noon, okay?
Yes, ma'am. You have a good day.
And you too, sir. Ms. Rice, I know that you were talking with Mr. Huff, and are we heading to resolution or are we moving toward trial?
I think we're going to head towards a trial, Your Honor. Mr. Huff filed a motion. I don't know if the court received it. He emailed it to me, and I don't know if the court would like to examine that, and maybe we should set it for a hearing. I'm not sure if that's appropriate with the motion that he filed, but I did want to bring that to your attention.
Okay, let me take a quick look because I don't have it, but it may be in the file. On pre-trials, you know, I tend to wait. I'll draw those to my attention. And we are scheduled already for February 9th at 1 o'clock.
Well, yeah, I'd like Judge Person, I'd like you to review the information that I
Well,
submitted.
of course, I'm going to review it, so.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cut and dry. This should move to dismissal fairly quickly after reading.
Yeah, I know that you think that, but you're just going to have to wait for me to look at it. And hold on just a moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't have it, so you're going
It's
to
only
have,
two.
you're going to have to email it to the court online help.
I did last night. It has
Um,
all the documents. It has the.
So you'll have to give me time to review it, and I'll
application.
schedule it for hearing. And right now I'm scheduling it for hearing on February 9th at 1 o'clock. We'll look to talk about it then.
Okay. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you. We'll
Please,
see you
please
then.
review it. Please review it carefully. Yeah, it's very
Of course I
clear.
will. Of course I will.
Department
And
of
so I'm not going to do it right
Transportation
now while you talk to me or talk over me. I'm going to review it and we'll see you in court. It's not a problem.
Texas
But I need time to do that. You have to learn that you don't just file something overnight and expect a ruling.
Well, I'm not expecting a ruling, but this is the pretrial conference. I'd like to.
This is one of the pretrial conferences, and you filed a motion, and normally that's a 10-day reset. So I can reset this for a pretrial reset, or we can just keep the setting we have.
Well, I'd like to do a pretrial reset because I don't want to drive.
Yeah, well, you drove in Temple and you got a ticket.
But the speed limit signage that's posted is unlawful.
Sir, quit unmuting to talk over me, or I will remove you from this meeting.
I'm just responding after you.
No, you're not. You're talking when I'm talking. That's not responsive.
No, I'm not. I'm responding when you're talking, after you're talking. I'm not talking over you. I'm just asking you to review the Texas Department of Transportation regulations where the speed limit signage that's posted is unlawful. That's all I'm asking you to do. It's only
You need to understand something before I've read your motion, since you're talking about it, which is that in Texas, the law is very clear on this particular subject. If you disagree with the posting, it doesn't mean that you get to drive differently.
Okay. You've
The
referenced
law enforcement officer is legally allowed to enforce the written sign, even if the written sign is wrong.
I'm not arguing what the law enforcement officer did. What I'm arguing is the law, which is
What I'm telling you is that the law.
You stop muting me while I'm talking. You're muting me while I'm talking.
I will actually see you in court. Thank you.
Look, I'm telling you.
Now you're talking over.
454.352.
And I'm going to warn you again that I'm going to read your motion before we discuss your motion. I'm not going to say it repeatedly. I'm just going to say it one time.
Okay.
I've said it now twice.
We
are done talking about
online meeting.
Goodbye. pull it up and let me. Can we pull that after court today? And let me take a look at it. I'm not going to look at it during when it was filed last night. Ms. Rice, let me move you forward with Peggy Fussell. And Ms. Fussell, you'll receive an invitation to talk to or to go to the pretrial room. When you're done, please come back to this room. And Ms. Fussell, you need to unmute and accept the meeting request. Preferably, you need to get on screen. Great. Hopefully that works. Destiny Smith, if you could unmute. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. So I did note that you're a college student, and right now you might have student loans, but you don't have income right now, which is normal. You have entered a plea of guilty to a no insurance charge that is dated from November 16th. The fines and costs, if you paid that ticket, are $281. I want to ask you before I accept your plea, were you insured at the time of the stop?
I was not.
Okay, and is it your car? Are you responsible for the insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you now insured?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened that you became uninsured?
There was a dispute between family and I got kicked. And then me being a college student, I couldn't afford at the time.
Okay, so now are you working?
My mom helps. I do little side jobs. I'm not fully employed. No, not currently.
You've asked for a $50 a month payment plan. I can grant that. I could also do community service in your case because you're presumably it's not your money that you would be paying with. It's relying on someone else to make payment, which is not what the law says we have to do. So you tell me what's going to work better.
Probably between school, it would be easier just to do the payment plan.
Okay. And are you doing that with odd jobs?
Yes, ma'am. And through my support system.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is, can you make a payment today?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I'm going to lower the payment to $25 a month.
Okay.
You can pay more and just get done faster. It's basically a no interest loan. Okay. So
Okay.
you pay it. It's not going to go up if you pay early. But the main thing is don't miss a payment. Since
Okay.
you don't have income, I usually set it low. And then if you want to pay more, you're just going to get done faster. I need you to come by this morning though and sign for that and do that first payment. Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what time should we look for you?
Can I come in around maybe 10:30-ish?
That's fine. Okay, between 10:30 and 11 sometime. We'll look for you. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm moving forward with Quentin Flowers. Good morning, Mr. Flowers. Can you unmute? Thank you. Morning. I reviewed everything that you've submitted, okay? And we actually have several charges. There's one charge of no fresh water provided from May 15th of 2020, and you submitted a plea of no contest on that one. There are two other charges. One is a no water, fresh water provided. It's a second case, and that was May 15th. You have pleaded not guilty to that one and to the one alleged for November 1st. And those are on a pretrial for January 20th, which is online like this, okay? Wait, is that online? Or is that a final?
I think I got to show up 2 quarters.
Yes, that's right. Okay, let me look and see. January 20th is an online meeting. That's a Thursday, so I know it's online. So that's going to be like this. And there's a link that was sent to your email for that one, for those two. So what you and I are going to address today is the one that you did a plea on for today. And also you have several warrants for older cases from the past, okay? And those cases, let's see, did we have, was it a payment plan? Okay, those were a payment plan. I had recalled a warrant. You had a plan to pay. It didn't work out, and we just didn't hear back such that it went to a warrant. In reviewing your income information, what I was noticing is that your bills exceed your income, even if I took into account the child support. I wasn't sure if the child support, if they're taking it out of your paycheck or not. Are they taking it out of your paycheck? Okay, even there, I'm showing that it would be difficult to make payment. I can approve payments if you want to, or I can go ahead and just shift this to community service, which I don't think we've tried in your case. I'm going to let you tell me what's going to work best for you.
I got 4 children, so it's really hard for me to do community service.
Right.
If you can put me back on a payment plan, I can make sure I can pay that.
Okay. Okay. When are you paid at Buc-ee's? Is it looks like every week. What day of the week?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thursday.
On Thursdays? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make a $20 payment
Today?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then what I'm going to say is, are you paid at Buc-ee's this week or next week?
This week.
Okay. And so what that would turn into is 2 weeks from this week is the 27th. And I'm going to say, let's do $20 every 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm just making a note that we're not starting until the 27th on the next portion. You're making a single payment today, and then we're going to skip this week. I just, 2 birds with 1 stone. If you want to pay, you're coming up here, so we might as well do one. But if you want to pay early or more, you can. It'll happen faster if you do that, but I'm going to try to keep it low. Let me ask the clerk a quick question. I think I do. I have a hold on your license for just the kind of repeated non-showing. So I need you to understand that's not going to go away until everything is zeroed out. So it would benefit you to pay more if you can. And also, let me just tell the clerk something. After court, let me see what reductions or waivers I can do. I'm going to also review your cases after court here in just a few minutes and see if I can do some reductions and make this just a little bit more manageable. But we still have those other pending cases too. So we'll see you on Zoom on the 20th. Please don't miss that date. I don't want to go back to work with you because it adds $50 by state law every case, every time. And so it's just really creating like a deeper and deeper problem for you. And I'm not really interested in doing that. But when you don't show up, we start sending out warning letters. And if you don't have the right address on file, they're going into wherever, stay in touch with us until we get this done. Okay. All right.
Yes,
so, I'm a lot easier to work with because I have more options if I don't repeatedly go to warrant with somebody. when I repeatedly, and you're kind of on the edge on some of these, I'm not going to be able to prove anything else. So
Yes, ma'am.
let's just stay on the plan. And if you can't meet the promise that you make, you need to come in and communicate with us about the problem, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. We'll see you up here when? Around noon? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. That's good.
Okay. All right. That'll give me time to look and kind of get things finalized before you get here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Flowers. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. You have a nice day, ma'am.
You too, sir. And Ms. Rice, right on time. You were able to talk to Ms. Cassell?
I was, yeah, she's could not figure out how to press the leave room. So I think she's still in the breakout room. I don't know if there's any way if you can move her over.
Well, I can always say to move her over. My experience is doesn't always work.
Oh, okay.
I just tried to do that. If I see her show up again, oh, here she
goes. Yeah.
Great. Hi, Ms. Fussell. Hey, good job. And now you're going to have a button that says unmute, so I can hear you.
Mute. Okay, got that.
Perfect. Okay. Ms. Rice was just telling me you were probably coming over. And Ms. Rice, are we moving to a resolution or are we moving to a trial?
We're going to move to a resolution, Your Honor, and state's going to send in a dismissal over after court today.
Okay. Okay. So Ms. Fussell, that dismissal is going to come to me later today. I'll sign it and then we're going to email it to the email where we set up this meeting. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll email that to you probably sometime later this morning. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That'll be great.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank y'all very much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Ms. Rice, we're moving now to Corey Castrillo. And Mr. Castrillo, you'll receive an invitation to that meeting. Just remember you're coming back into this meeting. And Ms. Wheeler Ramsey, you're not forgotten. We'll be right with you. Okay. Thank you. Flowers. I'm going to pull him up. Take a quick look at what options we might have since he's opting into payments. Okay. It is a repeated thing I've noticed, but okay, so on the no fresh water charge, yes, the one for 515, sorry, the allegation date. Yes, that should be it. Yes, reduce that fine to $100. Now, we are doing a reduction in our team, but the form that we backed out with says waived due to the interest of justice, and I'll write that in. But it's on the form that we use for waiver, not the form we use. Well, you might need to do a reduction for the LT side, okay? But legally speaking, we're waiving it. So I think our best practice on that, I've been talking to Mr. Turner about this, is our system, it does a reduction. I'm doing, now, will it let me just do a waiver, I think? Will it allow a partial waiver?
Yeah, I can go in there and still.
I'd rather.
Oh, actually, no.
Okay, so we're gonna do a reduction. And then I can sign that form just to have that paper trail, but I'm gonna write on there that it's legally a waiver. Okay. Because post-judgment, well, that one is not, it's P and your plea today. So that's a reduction. Sorry. Yeah, that's a reduction. Sorry, it's what I've learned is if there's already a judgment, it's It has to be a waiver. Let me know when you're ready for the next one. Okay. Then there are 3 livestock type charges and 2 license charges. The license charges, I've already done reductions, or they're as low as they are going to go. On the 3 livestock ones, just reduce each of those to a fine being $100. And then obviously the collection fees. But those are waivers. Yeah. So it's a little, feels a little strange, but and this is the KPS, right? Okay. Okay, so this is the KPS, not the KPS profile. Okay. Thank you.
You will need to just check everything.
Yeah, let me write it in. Okay. Yeah, it's easier that way. Okay, Ms. Warren, Mr. Castrione, let me hear from Ms. Warren. I'm sorry, it's habit.
Okay.
Ms. Rice, please excuse me. My mind is occupied with the stuff I was looking at. If I could learn, are we heading to trial or are we heading to resolution?
We are headed to resolution, Your Honor. State's requesting to reinstate the driver safety course dismissal, and Mr. Castrillo indicated that he's unable to make payment today. I don't think he's filled out a financial affidavit form, but he's aware that he has to fill one out.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to work with him, Mr. Castrillo, stay handy. And Ms. Wheeler Ramsey, you're going to receive an invitation and you'll click over. It's going to be like a button that comes on your screen. You'll come back to the meeting afterward. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Castrillo, how long, I do need the financial affidavit form.
Yes, ma'am.
And I need your signature on an extension date. Those two things I need to collect today. But with that in mind, when would you need, like, what's the best time for you to do payment on the 144?
Well, she was saying something about the deferment plan.
Okay, I think we're mixing words.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think what we're looking at is the driver safety course option.
So
in that event, instead of paying $259, you're
I
paying
pay
144. From the date that we collect that 144 plus license and insurance, there's a 90-day window to turn in your course and your driving record to gain a dismissal and waive the remaining $119.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
We're not deferring because that's a different thing. We're going to give you an extension for when you're going to come in and do the driver safety course, sign up and pay the 144. To do that, I need your signature on an extension date and I need you to fill out the financial affidavit. So my question for you is, looking for that extension date, when could you pay the 144?
I could probably pay it by the latest at the end of the month.
Okay, so that's the 31st of January. Is that a good date for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, and I'm seeing you're in Temple. Can you come by the court to do the signature and to fill out the form?
Today?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
What time should we look for you?
How long do you think it would take to fill out the form?
About 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay, I could probably do it by 11.
Perfect. So we will look for you around 11.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just come to the window. Again, it'll be quick. It really won't take you long. We probably, I mean, if we're doing what we do 99.9% of the time, we emailed that information to you at some point, or we handed it to you. I don't know which it would have been. But if you have it, you could fill it out and just bring it in, and they'll copy it into your file, give you a copy, have you sign the extension form. Otherwise, we have a blank up here for you if you need that. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. These are no-show people. Thank you. Goodness. That's my last name. Shirley. This says Miss Warren on it.
Oh,
Have we sent her that form by any chance?
yes.
Hmm?
Oh, what? Amanda,
Yeah. She may, let me look and see. She sent me some things that she's approved. Um, oh, just Miss Georgia said can show up. Okay, Mr. Huffs. Cool. I don't see anything new in the file, so.
No, it was just.
Well, she's entitled to a response before a hearing point, but which is what I couldn't seem to get to the point of being able to explain to him that I'm not here to advocate for something. Oh, I see. Okay.
Only one thing that's not.
Thanks. Can you do a screenshot? Miss Russ, I'll be right with you. Let's see. Do I need to try to move Miss Ramsey over?
You may, I told her to press the button, but I don't know if she couldn't find it.
Does it look like resolution or trial? Here she is.
Oh, yeah, there she is. We've reached a resolution, Your Honor. So it's requesting to do a deferral. I believe it'll be a 120-day deferral just because I think Ms. Wheeler is going to have some problems making payment just from her indication, but she did say that she filled out a financial affidavit. She's not requesting anything other than the normal no convictions, keeping her information current with the court, and then no warrants out for arrest for not appearing for court.
Okay, I can do that. Ms. Wheeler Ramsey, can you hear me?
Yes.
The state has pushed or moved for a deferred to keep it off your record. And what they're saying is that they're asking for 120-day deferral. They're not asking for any anything else other than the standard thing, which is no tickets during this time, no warrants. Please keep your address current. She did indicate that there would be some difficulty making payment. I had previously looked at your income information. To me, it looks like I could shift to community service, but that's based on your ability to perform it. If you can't perform it, I would need a doctor's note to waive it.
Okay, I'll get my doctor to do note because I can't do it.
Right. Okay, and so right now on that order, it'll say 18 hours of community service. I'm going to give it 60 days, but legally, if you bring me a waiver note, then from a doctor that says you can't do it, then I can waive it. Okay. Okay. So I do need you to come in and sign for that deferred. When can we look for you today? You're in Belton. When can we look for you?
It'll probably be later this afternoon because I don't drive much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta find somebody.
Okay. Can you get here by 4?
Yes.
Okay. And just remember, have your doctor look at your paperwork for community service and just let us know that you can't do it, and I'll be able to waive that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Are you all right?
No, I've never been in trouble. The officer told me that it'd probably get dismissed, and the attorney is saying that can't happen.
Yeah, officers really can't make that kind of promise. It's like if somebody told you that you weren't going to have to pay taxes this year. They don't have the authority to say something like that. So
I understand that, but
I'm sorry if that happened. I don't know, but no, it doesn't really work that way. Once it's filed here, they don't have the ability to do something like that.
okay.
But
It's just upsetting because I've never been in trouble.
yeah, this really isn't the same thing as trouble. It's really just a wake-up call regarding traffic rules, so that next time there isn't a next time and you're not hurt and no one gets hurt. That's really what this is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So your deferred will just say for 120 days, no more tickets. It doesn't sound like that's going to be a big problem for you.
No.
And don't get arrested for anything. I don't anticipate a problem there. If you move, you're going to let us know. And then also just to deal with the fines and costs. So that means that within 60 days, a doctor's note, or come in and talk to someone about it if you can't get that done. Okay.
Okay. So I don't have to pay nothing.
You wouldn't. I just need to go ahead and get that doctor note. So you have 60 days
Okay.
to get that to me. So this will all be in writing at the front desk, and you'll come by and you'll sign it and you'll get a copy of it, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And Ms. Rice, do you have anything we need to discuss? Sorry, unmute.
Sorry, I thought I was muted. I do, just in terms of the no handicap placard, tickets that we've been seeing a lot of in the court, I'm just gonna send over a standing motion for those today, just because we seem to have a lot of them lately. I just think it'd be expedited if we could just set up a system to get them dismissed on a prosecutor motion.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'll send that over today if you want to look it over.
And Mr. Huff, without talking about any of the merits of his case, I now have that motion. You obviously will be given time to respond to that motion, but I am inclined to see if we can have an online hearing on that motion. I just might set it for, like taking him at the end of a pretrial day, so that if we have to have a protracted conversation, it's not making everybody sit through that. But we have plenty of time because he's not scheduled until February.
Okay, great time, because I wasn't familiar with all of the ones that he cited, so I will need some time to research. So.
Yeah, it's one of those areas that once you do it, you'll probably use that same research repeatedly, because it's not I haven't read his motion, but what he brought up orally that you were able to hear is something I've encountered many times, but there may be more in this motion. I haven't looked at it, and I will. And I won't comment to you about anything further more than just what he brought up. But it might be good to get that sort of in your back pocket anyway. But as to his exact motion, I don't know yet. But I will probably schedule it for about another month from now, or not quite a month, maybe a little less than that, 3 weeks. So I will make that decision in a moment. I'm going to sit down and read it right now. And
Okay, great. If you could just have Melissa or Yolanda send me over the hearing date, just so I have it scheduled.
yeah, you can plot out your time. But in other words, I'm just saying you'll be given an opportunity to respond before I make a ruling.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.